We're in this 2009 Mercury 8-horse short shaft 4-stroke. This is a new engine to the customer. He wanted me to go through it, make sure everything's good before he takes it out. So I replaced the water pump impeller. This shift shaft coupler right here was seized on good. I had to use a torch so I could see this right here bubbling on there. I had to use a torch on here just to get this off, but it also came out with part of the upper shift rod. So it's missing about that much of the threads on the upper shift rod, and that's why I have it up higher now than what it typically is. Typically you'll have this little stopper down here more or whatever, but whatever, it works fine. The old couplers in this bag. With part of the upper shift shaft still inside there. The water pump housing was partially melted, so I had to cut out part of the melted stuff out of there and stuff. Did the gear oil in it, did the spark plugs in it, did the inline fill filter, and put the date of when I replaced it on there. So when I ran the engine wasn't getting up to temperature, and the thermostat housing should be getting warm and cool, and that's the thermostat opening and closing, and it wasn't doing that on this. So I pulled that cover off, which somebody put some different bolts through there. Same thing with the lower unit. There's different, it's not stock bolts, but whatever. Pulled that off, and the thermostat was stuck open. I did that just to pull it out of there, but the thermostat's stuck open. All this rubber around here is all hard and brittle. There's some cracking in that, but it was super corroded inside there. I had a good used thermostat from a freshwater engine that I kept when I replaced his with the new one, and so I just put the good used one inside of here so it has something in it, because I already waited for parts for the water pump and stuff to come in. I waited for the shift shaft coupler to come in. I didn't want to wait again for thermostat to come in, but I cleaned out the inner housing, the outer housing, cleaned everything up, put the good used one in there, anti-seize those bolts, put that back on there. This engine was also picking up and dropping RPMs by itself quite a bit. Somebody already drilled out that little the plug that they put in there, that brass plug that they put in there, so I've already drilled that out. So I tuned the carb, adjusted the idle, and it's running a lot better now. And also, after I replaced the thermostat, it started pissing water better too. Look at that. So before I replaced the thermostat and ran it, I already replaced the water pump in it, it wasn't pissing this strong as it is now. And so that's another thing that got better when I replaced the thermostat too. But there's forward. Neutral. There's reverse. I'll give a little bit of throttle. RPMs is still picking up and dropping down by itself a little bit, not nowhere near as much as what it did before. That could be a carb issue. I don't know what there's this light crap, different parts of the carb and stuff. But I can't bring the idle down lower on it. See, RPMs drop back down again. If I bring the idle too low on it in gear, it's too low and it'll bog and die, and I don't want that to happen. So yeah, everything is working good. Maybe need the carb gone through, but besides that, everything else is good.